Pokémon Scarlet and Violet are strange games. Like, in no way am I saying that the franchise's 9th mainline entries are bad. In fact, they are a marked improvement over Sword and Shield. They just fall short in every way of fulfilling the dream of the perfect open world Pokémon game. These games drop frames a lot. NPCs barely a few steps away from the player jerk through the world, walking animation frames seemingly cut in half, the camera clips beneath the floor at times during battles on slope surfaces, and between all the popping, the real-time lighting inches across the landscape bit by bit like stop motion. Towns and villages are full of buildings that can't be entered, with NPCs you can't talk to. It's what I imagine walking through the set of EastEnders would be like, opening doors on the street just to see scaffolding. Most stores in the game just open doors into a menu, and the grandiose academy you attend is just connected through a room select map, rather than letting the player explore the corridors between rooms. There are no actual side quests either, at least I've not spoken to anyone who has given me one during my 30 hours of playtime. All of this can make the towns of Paldea feel like a facade, which is so frustrating given how great the open world is to explore. I would love to be given an excuse outside of catch 'em all to survey it all. I'm not saying there aren't secrets to find in Paldea, but the majority of the time you find a secret cove or an area that feels special, chances are you'll just find a TM or a Wild Terror Pokemon, and not one that particularly sparks much joy, well, at least for me anyway. Oh, and believe me when I say this, the region of Paldea is bloody littered with TMs and items. You can't walk a few meters without spotting a glint on the floor or a glowing Pokeball. Look, I know I've been quite scathing of the game so far, and I'm sure I will continue to say negative things further on. I mean, man, some of the new Pokemon designs are atrocious. But I had a lot of fun making my way through the 3 main story paths and the events that tie them all together in the end. Unlike Sword and Shield, you are the hero of the story again, a major driving force in solving the region's problems. But on top of that, you actually feel yourself developing bonds with the characters, with one particular narrative path throughout the story, genuinely affecting me emotionally in a way a Pokemon game never has. By the time the credits had rolled, I had audibly gasped at a revelation that wasn't related to any sort of returning Pokemon or alternate form. As part of the review process, I played Pokemon Scarlet. And I don't know how to say this, but Koraidon, this version's specific legendary mount, is perfect in every way. The animation and cutscenes have really improved over those in Sword and Shield, which really helps bring out all the toothless-esque emotion from my favourite ever in-game mount. It's actually quite impressive that the team managed to pull off a narrative with character growth. As the game's 3 story paths, Starfall Street, Path of Legends, Victory Road, at first all seem quite distinct and separate. The Starfall Street path involves a lot of repetition. Each base starts with an incredibly non-challenging push through the hordes of Starfall Grunts Pokemon using the auto battle system. Thankfully though, the boss of each is always just tough enough to be a challenge. Starfall Street is a really good way of helping you level up your team for the Victory Road story. As well as the Path of Titans bosses, Victory Road is exactly what you'd expect. Defeat the 8 gyms, take on the Elite 4, become the champion. Just like in Sword and Shield, each gym has a task that needs to be completed before each fight, and most of these feel like filler as they bring very little challenge, existing maybe only there to establish some sort of vibe or lore to the leader or town, but even then that can be a stretch. Look, as much as I complained at the beginning of my review about the appearance of the visuals and the Pokemon popping, during the moments it all comes together, while riding across one of the varied biomes surrounded by wild Pokemon all ready to be caught and battled, something clicks. And it just works. Climbing over a cliff edge to reveal a lake full of powerful water Pokemon, or walking through the woods with a family of bug monsters nearby just chilling out. It's the experience we've been waiting for. It's just a shame the technical side holds it back. It's also great to have battles occur in the game world, allowing for almost seamless transition into a fight while staying in the same space as other wild Pokemon still meander around in the background. It is a shame though to have lost the ability to run around the fights like in Legends Arceus. This was a lovely touch, but being able to rotate the camera around in the battles is just about good enough. Oh, by the way, here's a pro tip, turn off autosave in the menu. The game will save after each battle, which can be a real issue if you defeat a rare wild Pokemon you were looking to catch. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have finally delivered on the promise of an open world entry, but with all the technical issues and stripped back features, it's hard to not feel like the Nintendo Switch held these games back. The next mainline games will be the 10th generation, a major milestone. If this is what an open world Pokemon game is now, it is so tantalising to consider what is coming in the future.